Rain was falling heavily outside as the city lights blurred behind the wet car windows. Inside a luxurious black car, Adam Reed, a young billionaire of only 26, sat quietly. People knew him for his success, his intelligence, and his money, but almost nobody knew how lonely he truly was. Adam had everything a man could dream of: big companies, luxury homes, expensive cars, but inside his heart, there was an empty space he could not fill. He often visited small community centers and charity homes, not to show his money, but to feel something real, something human. That evening, Adam decided to visit a small community center at the end of the street. It was old, simple, and usually filled with children and poor families who needed help. Adam wanted to give a donation secretly without anyone recognizing him. As he walked inside, the smell of wet clothes and warm soup filled the air. People were talking softly and children were playing with old toys. But something unusual caught his attention, a soft crying sound almost like a whisper. Adam paused. He turned toward the dark corner of the room. There, hidden behind the old bookshelf, sat a young girl in a wheelchair. She looked around 15 or 16, thin and pale, with long dark hair covering most of her face. Her clothes were old but clean. She sat quietly, hugging a small blanket around her legs as if trying to make herself invisible. Adam felt an unexpected pull in his heart. There was something about her sadness, something deep, something that felt heavier than her small body. He slowly walked toward her, trying not to scare her. The closer he got, the more he noticed the details: the trembling hands, the way her shoulders shook each time she tried to hold back her tears. "Hey," Adam spoke softly. "Are you okay?" The girl did not look up. For a moment she stayed completely still. Then, in a low trembling voice, she whispered, "You cannot help me, no one can." Adam froze. Her voice was calm, but it carried a kind of pain he had never heard before. Not even the richest business losses, not even the toughest negotiations could compare to the pain hidden in her simple sentence. "No one can help you?" Adam repeated softly. "Why do you think that?" This time the girl looked up slowly. Her eyes were big, dark, and filled with a kind of sadness that shocked him. She wasn't angry. She wasn't asking for money. She wasn't begging. She looked broken. "My name is Adam," he said gently. "What's your name?" She hesitated for a long moment, then finally answered, "Leah." A simple name, but it felt heavy on her lips, like she hadn't said it in a long time. Adam gave her a small, warm smile. "Leah, are you alone here?" Leah looked at her hands and clutched the blanket tightly. "Yes." Her voice cracked. "I am always alone." A small silence filled the space between them. People continued talking in the background, but to Adam the whole world had gone silent. His eyes stayed on her small shaking hands. "Do you come here often?" he asked. Leah nodded slowly. "This place is safe. No one bothers me here." She didn't say more, but Adam could feel she was hiding something. Something big. Something painful. "Did you eat something?" Adam asked softly. Leah shook her head. "I'm not hungry." Her voice said the opposite. Her thin face, weak body, and tired eyes all screamed hunger and exhaustion. But she refused food like she was used to it. Adam gently placed a small snack on the table beside her. She stared at it but didn't touch it. He sat down beside her, keeping a respectful distance. The room felt strangely quiet now. "Leah, if you don't mind, can I ask how you ended up in a wheelchair?" Adam asked carefully. Immediately her body stiffened. Her eyes looked away. Her fingers gripped the armrest tightly. She opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out. Her silence said more than any answer ever could. Adam didn't push further. He sat by her side for a few minutes, trying to understand this mysterious girl who believed no one could help her. He had seen poverty, illness, and pain before, but something about Leah was different. Her sadness was not simple sadness. It felt like a wound that had never healed. Leah finally spoke again in a voice barely louder than a breath. "I don't want to trouble anyone. People here have their own problems. I'm used to this life." Adam stared at her. Used to this life? Used to hunger? Used to silence? Used to loneliness? His heart tightened. He didn't know why, but he couldn't walk away from her. Not tonight. Maybe not ever. He leaned forward slightly and said softly, "Leah, I don't think anyone should get used to pain." She looked at him with tired eyes. For the first time, Adam saw a small spark inside them, as if someone had finally seen her, really seen her, after a very long time. Leah whispered, "Pain is the only thing that stays." Adam's breath hitched. Something inside him broke at those words. In that moment he made a quiet promise to himself. He would not leave this girl alone. Not until he knew the truth. Not until he understood her pain. Not until he helped her, no matter what it cost. Because something told him, Leah's story was far from simple. And the truth she was hiding was going to change everything. The next morning, Adam woke up with an unusual heaviness in his chest. He tried to start his day normally, checking emails, attending calls, and reviewing business plans. But no matter how busy he was, his mind kept going back to the girl in the wheelchair. Yeah. Her sad eyes. Her weak voice. Her strange words, "You cannot help me, no one can." Nothing about her left his thoughts. By afternoon, Adam couldn't resist anymore. He told his driver to take him back to the community center. The rain had stopped, but the sky was still gray and quiet. The world looked softer somehow, almost like it was waiting for something. When Adam entered the center, children were playing as usual, and a few adults sat chatting. But his eyes immediately searched for Leah. He found her sitting near the same old bookshelf in the same wheelchair, holding the same thin blanket around her legs. But today she looked even weaker. Her face was paler, and her eyes looked tired, as if she hadn't slept at all. Adam walked toward her with gentle steps. "Hi, Leah," he said softly. She looked up slowly. For a moment, she looked surprised that someone had come back for her. People rarely stayed in her life. "You came again," she said quietly. "Yes," Adam smiled. "I wanted to check on you." Leah lowered her eyes, almost ashamed. "You don't need to," she whispered. "I don't want to be a burden." "You are not a burden," Adam replied firmly. "I chose to come." He placed a small paper bag beside her. Inside it was warm soup, fresh bread, and a juice box. Nothing fancy, but something healthy and comforting. Leah stared at the bag for several seconds. Her lips parted slightly, but she didn't touch it. "I can't take this," she said softly. "Why not?" Adam asked. "It's too much. I don't want to owe people anything." Adam shook his head gently. "You don't owe me anything, Leah. It's just food." Her fingers trembled slightly as she reached for the bread. She held it carefully, like it might break in her hands. Then she took a small bite, and Adam could see how hungry she really was. But even while eating, she kept looking around nervously, as if scared someone would judge her. "You can relax," Adam said kindly. "Nobody is watching." Leah nodded, but her eyes still held fear. After a few minutes of silence, Adam sat on a chair beside her. "Do you come here every day?" he asked. "Yes," Leah replied. "I have nowhere else to go." Adam's heart squeezed. "Where is your family?" Leah froze. Her hands tightened around the blanket. Her breathing became slow, almost painful. She didn't answer. "You don't have to tell me," Adam said quickly, not wanting to hurt her. "I'm sorry if I asked too much." Leah shook her head slowly. "It's not your fault. I don't want to talk about them." Adam nodded. He didn't push further. Instead, he tried to talk about lighter things, whether books, small stories from his daily life. He wanted to make her comfortable, to help her forget her pain even for a moment. At first, Leah stayed quiet, only nodding sometimes. But slowly, little by little, her shoulders relaxed. She even looked at him once or twice, and Adam noticed something he didn't expect. A small smile. Very small, but real. It disappeared quickly, but Adam saw it. And that was enough to give him hope. After some time, Leah spoke again. "Why are you being so kind to me?" she asked softly. Adam blinked. "Because everyone deserves kindness." Leah shook her head. "Not me." Adam leaned forward. "Why do you say that?" Her eyes filled with a deep sadness. I'm used to hunger, Adam. I'm used to pain. I'm used to being alone. People don't stay. They come for a moment and then leave." Adam's chest tightened. There was a kind of hurt in her voice that no money could fix. "I'm not leaving," Adam said gently. Leah looked at him with confusion. "You don't know me. You don't know my past." "That doesn't matter," Adam replied. "Everyone has a past. But mine is different," Leah whispered. "People change when they know the truth." "And what truth is that?" Adam asked softly. Leah lowered her head. Her long hair covered her face like a curtain. She took a shaky breath. I don't want to talk about it," she said. Adam nodded. "That's okay. You can tell me whenever you feel ready." For the first time, Leah didn't look away. She held Adam's gaze for a long moment, her eyes large, scared, but holding a tiny flame of trust. "Maybe, one day," she whispered. Adam smiled softly. "I'll wait." The center staff started cleaning up and people began leaving. Leah looked around nervously as if she feared being alone in the dark room. I should go, she said. Can I take you home? Adam asked gently. Leah shook her head quickly. No. I can manage. Her voice didn't sound convincing at all. She didn't want him to know where she lived. That only increased Adam's worry. Okay, he said softly. But I'll come back tomorrow. Is that okay? Leah hesitated, then nodded once. Yes, you can come. That small permission felt like a big victory, maybe the first step toward trust. As Adam walked out of the center, he looked back one last time. Leah sat quietly, staring at the door he had just walked through. And for the first time, she didn't look completely alone. The next day came with bright sunshine, but Adam's heart felt heavy with worry. He had left Leah at the center last night, but her tired eyes and weak voice kept repeating in his mind. I can manage. Her words did not sound true. Adam had met thousands of people in his life. Business partners, investors, powerful men, famous faces, but he had never met someone like Leah. There was something fragile about her, something that made him feel responsible in a way he couldn't explain. After finishing a short meeting, Adam rushed out of his office. His assistant looked shocked. He never left in the middle of work. Is everything okay, sir? She asked. Yes, he replied quickly. Just something important. Important. More important than any meeting, any contract, or any business deal. He reached the community center earlier than usual. Kids were still arriving, playing outside, running around with laughter. But there was no sign of Leah among them. Adam walked inside quickly, scanning every corner of the room. The bookshelf, the tables, the kitchen area. Empty. Only a few volunteers were setting up food for lunchtime. A sudden fear cut through Adam's heart. Where is she? He approached one of the volunteers. Excuse me, do you know where the girl in the wheelchair is? Her name is Leah. The volunteer thought for a moment. The one who sits near the shelf? Quiet girl? Yes, her. Oh, she came but she didn't stay long today. She looked very weak. Maybe she went outside. Adam didn't wait another second. He walked out and searched the entire area around the center. Benches, street corners, bus stops. But Leah was nowhere. Just as he was about to lose hope, he saw it. Her wheelchair. Parked near the back of the building, under the shade of a large tree. But Leah wasn't sitting in it. Adam's heart started racing. Leah. He followed the sound of slow breathing and found her sitting on the ground, leaning against the wall. Her eyes were closed, her face pale, and her hands shaking. Adam rushed to her side. Leah. What happened? Are you okay? She opened her eyes slowly, struggling to breathe normally. I just got dizzy. It happens. It happens. Adam repeated in shock. Leah, you should have told me you weren't feeling well. She looked down like a child being scolded. I didn't want to bother you. You are not a bother, he said firmly. Carefully, he lifted her and helped her back into the wheelchair. She was so light, too light. Adam realized she must not have eaten properly for days, maybe weeks. Did you eat anything today? He asked. Leah shook her head. No, there wasn't much food left at the center. Adam felt anger rise inside him, not at the center but at the world that allowed a child to suffer this much. Without saying another word, he pushed her wheelchair toward a small nearby bakery. He ordered soup, bread, and warm tea. The owner gave him a kind smile, happy to help. When the food arrived, Adam placed it gently in front of Leah. She stared at it with guilt. I don't want to waste your money. Leah, Adam said calmly, you are not wasting anything. Please eat. She finally picked up the spoon and took a slow sip of the warm soup. The moment it touched her tongue, her eyes softened. She ate carefully, almost silently, as if she didn't want to disturb the world around her. Adam watched her with a deep sadness forming in his heart. After a while, Leah spoke again, her voice soft. You didn't have to come today. I wanted to, Adam replied. But, why? She whispered. Because I was worried about you, Adam said honestly. She froze. No one had said those words to her in a long time. Maybe never. Her eyes glistened as she looked at him. You shouldn't worry about someone like me. Someone like you? Adam said gently. What does that mean? Leah looked down at her legs, covered by the blanket. I am broken, Adam. People don't stay with broken things. Her words hit him harder than she knew. Leah, he said softly, you are not broken. You are just hurting. And I want to understand why. For the first time, she didn't pull away from his question. She didn't smile, but she didn't hide either. Instead, she asked quietly, why do you care so much? You don't even know me. Adam took a deep breath. I care because no one cared about me when I was young, he said. I know what loneliness feels like. Leah's eyes widened slightly. She had never imagined someone like him, a rich man with everything, could feel lonely. Really? She asked. Really? Adam answered. A soft silence formed between them. But it was different from before, warm, not cold. After a moment, Leah asked another question. Will you come tomorrow too? Adam smiled gently. If you want me to. She hesitated, then nodded. Yes, I want that. Those simple words warmed Adam's heart in a way he had not felt in years. A small bond was forming, fragile but real. As he pushed her wheelchair back to the center, one thought stayed in his mind. Leah trusted him today. A little. But she was still hiding something. Something heavy. Something painful. And Adam knew that truth would change everything. The next morning, Adam arrived at the community center earlier than usual. The moment he stepped out of his car, he felt a strange mix of hope and worry. Every day he met Leah, she showed him a new shade of sadness, something deeper, something darker. And every day Adam felt more responsible for her. Inside the center, some volunteers were arranging tables, children were playing with old toys, and a few women were talking softly in the corner. But Adam's eyes searched for only one person. He found Leah sitting where she always sat, near the old bookshelf. But today, she looked different. She wasn't crying. She wasn't shaking. She wasn't hiding her face. She was simply staring at the wall. Her expression empty, her eyes lost in a place far away. When Adam approached her, she didn't notice him until he spoke. Morning, Leah. She blinked, slowly turning her head toward him. Oh, hi. Her voice was softer than usual, not weak but tired in a deeper way. Adam pulled a chair and sat beside her. Did you sleep well? Leah gave a tiny nod. I slept, a little. I'm glad. But Adam could tell she was lying. A few seconds of silence passed before she spoke again. You came early today. I wanted to see you, Adam said honestly. Leah's eyes softened for a moment, then shifted away, like she wasn't sure how to handle his kindness. Leah, Adam said gently, yesterday you scared me. When I found you outside you looked so weak. Before he could finish, Leah whispered, I'm sorry. You don't need to apologize, he replied softly. I just want to understand how to help you. Her fingers tightened around the blanket on her lap. Why do you keep saying that? Because I mean it, Adam said simply. Leah looked down, breathing slowly. No one ever tries this hard. Adam didn't know whether to feel sad or angry at the world for letting her think that. Slowly, she turned her face toward him. Her eyes were darker than usual, not from tears but from memories. Adam, she whispered, do you ever feel like you are carrying a heavy stone inside your heart? Something you cannot talk about, but it never leaves you? Adam nodded without thinking. Yes, I know that feeling. Leah watched him quietly as if trying to see if he truly understood. Is that how you feel? He asked gently. Leah hesitated, then nodded once. Every day. Her voice broke on the last word. Adam felt the weight of her pain, but he didn't interrupt her. He just waited. After a long silence, Leah finally continued. You asked me about my family, but I didn't answer. You don't have to. I want to, she said softly. Adam leaned forward, giving her his full attention. My mother, Leah started, her voice trembling. She used to be very loving. She worked hard. She tried her best. But life was too heavy for her. A small tear slid down her cheek. She got sick. Very sick. And we had no money for treatment. Adam felt his heart drop. One day, Leah continued, she looked at me and said she was sorry. She said life wasn't fair to us. She said she wished she could give me more. Leah wiped her tears with the back of her hand. And then, she left. Adam's eyes widened. She left? Where? Leah swallowed hard. She never came back. Her voice cracked painfully. Adam closed his eyes for a moment, processing her words. She was abandoned, by the only person she had. And your father? He asked carefully. Leah's entire body stiffened. She shook her head quickly. No, don't ask. Please. Adam raised his hands. Okay, I won't ask. The fear in her eyes said enough. Whoever her father was, whatever he did, the memory still haunted her. Leah took a deep breath. After my mother left, everything became worse. I tried to survive, somehow. Adam wanted to reach out and hold her hand, to tell her she wasn't alone anymore. But he didn't want to scare her. Leah, he said gently, thank you for trusting me. I know this is not easy for you. She looked at him, really looked. There was pain in her eyes but also something else. Something new. Something like a small spark of trust. Adam, she whispered, people always change when they know the truth. They stop caring. They walk away. I won't walk away, he said firmly. You say that now, Leah replied. But you don't know everything yet. You don't know why I am in this wheelchair. Adam's heartbeat quickened. This was the truth she had been hiding from the beginning. Leah, he whispered, whatever the reason is, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. She looked away as if fighting an internal battle. Finally she spoke again. Not a full truth, but a piece of it. It wasn't an accident, she said. Adam froze. His breath caught in his throat. What do you mean? He asked softly. Her eyes filled with tears again. I didn't lose my ability to walk because of a mistake, she whispered. Then how? Leah wiped her tears and whispered words that sent chills through Adam. Someone did this to me. The room suddenly felt colder, heavier. Adam sat in silent shock. Someone hurt her. Someone took away her ability to walk. Someone destroyed her childhood. And Adam knew. He would not rest until he found out who did this to her. Adam felt the air freeze around him. Someone did this to me. Leah's words echoed in his mind like a distant scream that wouldn't fade. He had suspected that something terrible happened to her, but hearing her say it was different. It hit him like a punch to the chest. He leaned slightly closer, keeping his voice soft. Leah, who did this to you? Leah didn't answer. She pulled the blanket tighter around her legs as if protecting herself from some invisible threat. Her lips trembled. Her eyes stayed glued to the floor. I can't say, she whispered. Adam shook his head gently. You don't have to be afraid. You're safe with me. Leah looked up suddenly, her eyes filled with fear, not the normal fear a child shows when scared, but the fear of someone who has lived through something unimaginable. Safe? She repeated in a broken voice. No one is safe from him. Adam froze. The word sent a cold shiver through his spine. Leah, who is he? Adam asked, his voice struggling to remain steady. She didn't reply. Instead, she looked away and stared at the wall, as if trapped in a memory she didn't want to relive. Adam realized she wasn't ready to say more. Pushing her would only hurt her. He took a deep breath and tried to calm the storm building inside him. Okay, he said softly. We won't talk about him right now. Only when you're ready. Leah's shoulders relaxed just a little, but her eyes remained distant. For a long moment, both of them said nothing. Finally, Leah whispered, You asked me yesterday about my wheelchair, about how this happened. I told you it wasn't an accident. That's all I can say for now. Adam nodded. That's enough. Thank you for trusting me even a little. Her eyes softened. I don't trust easily. I know, Adam replied. And that's why it means something. A shared pain. Leah wiped her eyes and leaned back slightly. The room was noisy with children running around, but between Adam and Leah, there was a strange calm. Adam, she said slowly, you said you understand loneliness. Were you, like me? Adam hesitated. He rarely spoke about his past. He kept it locked away behind the success he built. But looking at Leah, fragile, scared, desperate for an anchor, he knew he needed to share something. My parents died when I was young, Adam said quietly. I was alone too. Money came later, but loneliness stayed for years. Leah's eyes widened a little. Not in pity but in surprise. She had always imagined rich people lived perfect lives. I'm sorry, she whispered. It's okay, Adam said with a faint smile. It made me understand people better. Maybe that's why I noticed your pain. Leah looked down again, tears forming at the corners of her eyes. You see my pain, but you don't know the whole story. And I will listen whenever you're ready to tell me, Adam promised. The doctor's idea. Later that afternoon, Leah struggled to move her wheelchair. Adam immediately stood and helped her. The staff at the center watched with warm smiles. They had never seen anyone care for Leah this much. Leah, Adam said gently, I want to take you to a doctor. Her eyes turned wide with panic. No. Please no. Why not? Because, she lowered her voice. Doctors are expensive, Adam. I don't want you to waste your money. Adam shook his head. You are not a waste. And I told you before, your health matters. Leah hesitated, chewing her lip nervously. What if the doctor says something bad? What if? Then we face it together, Adam said calmly. Leah stared at him with confusion and disbelief. No one had ever said we to her before. It was always you, or you alone. After a long silence, she nodded weakly. Okay, but I'm scared. I'll be with you, he promised. At the hospital. Adam took her to one of the best hospitals in the city. The building was big and modern with clean white walls and bright lights. Leah looked around nervously, her hands shaking. Is it too much? Adam asked softly. It's just, I haven't been in a place like this, she whispered. It feels too big for someone like me. Places don't decide your worth, Leah, Adam said gently. A kind doctor greeted them and led them to a private room. He spoke softly and respectfully to Leah, which made her relax a little. After checking her medical history, or rather, the lack of it, the doctor asked a few questions. How long have you been in the wheelchair? Almost a year, Leah whispered. And, how did it happen? Leah looked down. I can't talk about it. The doctor glanced at Adam, understanding the situation. That's okay, he said calmly. You don't have to explain. We just need to run some tests. They conducted x-rays, scans, and basic physical examinations. Leah looked terrified the whole time, but Adam stayed beside her, holding her hand when she needed it. Finally, the doctor asked Adam to step outside for a moment. Leah watched him leave with anxious eyes. 5 minutes felt like forever. When Adam returned, his face looked different, shocked, tense, and confused. Leah immediately noticed. What happened? She whispered. Why do you look like that? Adam sat down slowly, trying to control his voice. The doctor told me something, he said softly. Something important. Leah's breath caught in her throat. What did he say? Adam took a deep breath. He said your condition might be reversible. Leah stared at him, frozen. You mean, she whispered, I could walk again? Adam nodded. Yes. But, he swallowed hard. He also said something else. Something that made me angry. Leah's heart pounded. What did he say, Adam? Adam looked directly into her eyes and said, he said the injuries on your legs are not from an accident. They look like someone caused them intentionally. Leah's face turned white. Her lips trembled. Her hands shook. Her eyes filled instantly with fear. Adam leaned closer, voice soft but firm. Leah, I need to know the truth. Who did this to you? But Leah didn't answer. She only whispered one word. A single word that filled Adam with rage and heartbreak. Father. The word father slipped from Leah's lips so softly that Adam almost thought he imagined it. But the fear in her eyes, it was real. So real that Adam felt his entire body go cold. Her father. The person meant to protect her, was the one who hurt her? Adam leaned forward slowly, careful not to scare her. Leah, what do you mean? Your father did this to you? She shook her head fast, wiping her tears with trembling hands. I shouldn't have said it. Forget it. Please, Adam. Forget I said anything. Adam's heart tightened. He had seen broken people before, but never someone this young, this hurt, this terrified of her own words. I can't forget it, he said softly. You're not safe if he's still out there. Leah closed her eyes tightly as if trying to erase a memory from her mind. A memory she never wanted to tell. After a long silence, Leah finally spoke, her voice shaking so hard it almost disappeared. My father was a good man once. Kind. Loving. But after my mother died, everything changed. He lost his job, lost his hope. Then he started drinking. Adam listened quietly, his hands clenched in anger at the man he hadn't even met. Leah continued, her tears falling freely now. He used to be gentle, but when he drank, he became someone else. Someone cruel. Her fingers touched her legs lightly. One night he came home angry. Very angry. He shouted at me for something I didn't do. I tried to run away from him, but... Her voice cracked. He hit me. Again and again. I felt something break. I couldn't stand any more. Adam felt his stomach twist painfully. No child deserved this. Not even a single second of it. And instead of helping me, she whispered, he pulled me again. Dragged me. I screamed so much, but no one came. Adam's jaw clenched so tightly it hurt. He wanted to find the man immediately. But he forced himself to stay calm, for Leah. She wiped her tears roughly. I've never said this to anyone. Not to the doctor. Not to the police. Not to anyone. Why? Adam asked quietly. Because I didn't want him to go to jail, Leah said, sobbing. He's still my father, even if he hurt me. And I was scared he would punish me if I told anyone. Adam's chest ached as he watched her break apart. Adam's promise. He gently placed a hand near hers, not touching without permission. Leah, no one is allowed to hurt you. Not even a parent. She looked up, her eyes red and tired. Adam, please don't tell anyone. Please. I want to protect you, he said softly. I won't do anything without your permission. But I need you to understand something. She sniffed, waiting. You are not safe if he can still find you. Leah's hands trembled violently. He's looking for me. Adam's eyes widened. What? Leah nodded, wiping her tears again. He came to the shelter 1 month ago. He shouted my name. Tried to get me. The staff stopped him. They threatened to call the police, so he left, but he said he would come back. Adam felt a bolt of anger shoot through him. Did the shelter file a report? They tried. But they didn't know everything. I begged them not to tell the police. I told them he was just confused. Adam shook his head slowly, unable to understand how a girl who had suffered so much could still try to protect the person who hurt her. Leah, he said firmly, you are not alone anymore. I won't let him touch you ever again. She stared at him, confused. Why do you care so much? I'm nobody. Adam looked directly into her eyes. You're not nobody. You matter. Your life matters. And your pain is not invisible. Her lips trembled again, but not from fear, this time from an emotion she hadn't felt in a long time. Hope. The doctor's plan. The doctor returned with a file in his hand. Mr. Gray, he said, glancing at Adam, may I speak to you in private again? Leah immediately panicked. No. Don't leave me. Adam raised his hand gently. It's okay. I won't go far. The doctor sighed and glanced at Leah with sympathy. You can stay, he said finally. She feels safer with you. Adam nodded and sat beside her. The doctor opened the file. Her injuries are old but treatable. With surgery, therapy, and time, she may walk again. Leah gasped softly, her hand covering her mouth. But, the doctor continued, this type of injury, it was definitely caused by repeated trauma. And if her father is a threat, she needs protection. Real protection. Adam nodded. I understand. Leah looked between them nervously. What do you mean? She whispered. Leah, the doctor said gently, you need a safe place to stay while you get treatment. Somewhere stable. Somewhere you won't be afraid. Leah shook her head. The shelter is enough. No, Adam said firmly, surprising even the doctor. The shelter is not safe if your father has already found it. Leah looked at him, scared. What do I do then? Where do I go? Adam took a deep breath. Come with me. Leah froze. What? You'll stay at my house, Adam said calmly but clearly. It's safe. It has security. And I can take care of your treatment. Her eyes widened in shock. Your house? But Adam, you're rich. I don't belong in a place like that. Adam gave a soft smile. Leah, you belong in a place where you're safe. She stared at him, tears forming again, this time from emotion, not fear. But aren't you scared? She whispered. If my father finds out, he'll come after you too. Adam looked into her eyes without hesitation. Let him come. I'm not afraid of him. And I won't let him hurt you. Leah's lips trembled as she let out a small, broken sob. Why are you being so kind to me? Adam swallowed hard. Because someone should have protected you long ago. The start of a new fight. Adam signed the hospital papers, arranged the therapy schedule, and prepared everything for Leah's surgery. But as they were leaving the hospital, something strange happened. A man in dirty clothes stood across the road. Messy hair. Dark eyes. A bottle in his hand. He stared directly at Leah. Her entire body froze. Her voice cracked as she whispered, Adam, that's him. That's my father. Leah's breath stopped in her chest. Her fingers dug into Adam's sleeve as she stared across the road, unable to move, unable to blink. The man leaning against the wall. The bottle in his hand. The angry hollow eyes. She knew him. She feared him. She escaped him. It was her father. Adam followed her gaze, instantly alert. He saw a man with wild eyes and an unsteady walk, watching them with a strange expression, half anger, half possession. Leah, Adam whispered, stay behind me. But Leah couldn't move. Her whole body shook. Her lips trembled. He found me, she whispered, her voice breaking. He always said he would. Adam stepped in front of her, his posture stiff, protective. The man across the road noticed the movement and pushed himself away from the wall. He began walking toward them, slow but determined. Leah's breath hitched. No, please. Adam, don't let him take me. I won't, Adam said firmly. I promise. The man reached the edge of the street, yelling across the distance. Leah, come here. You're coming home with me. His voice echoed like a heavy slap. People turned. Some stepped away. Others whispered. Leah shook her head violently. No, no, please. Her whole body curled in fear. Adam stood tall. She's not going anywhere with you. The man staggered closer, his voice rising. Who are you? Stay out of this. She's my daughter. Adam didn't move. I know who you are. And I know what you did. The man's eyes flickered, anger, guilt, denial. I raised her, he shouted. She belongs to me. You hurt her, Adam said calmly but coldly. You're the reason she's in a wheelchair. That sentence triggered something inside the man. His face twisted in rage. You think you can take her away from me? She's all I have left. Leah cried out, hiding behind Adam, her hands trembling. You don't get to call yourself her father, Adam said. A small crowd gathered now, watching but too afraid to step between them. The man took another step forward. His eyes were wild now. You give her to me or... He raised the bottle as if ready to throw it. Leah screamed. Adam reacted instantly. He stepped forward, blocking her completely. His voice was deep, clear, and full of authority. Back off. Something about the way he said it made the man hesitate. For the first time he noticed the expensive clothes, the confidence, the calm strength in Adam's posture. Who are you? The man muttered. Adam kept his voice steady. Someone who cares about Leah more than you ever did. The man blinked, confused, angry, lost. Then suddenly he swung the bottle. Everything happened in less than a second. People gasped. Some shouted. Leah cried out Adam's name. Adam grabbed the man's wrist midair. The bottle clattered onto the ground. The man tried to pull free but Adam didn't let him. Let her go, Adam said, each word steady like steel. Security from the hospital ran over, pulling the man away. The man screamed, kicked, cursed, but he couldn't break free. You can't take her, he yelled. She's mine. Leah buried her face in her hands, sobbing. Adam knelt beside her. Leah, look at me. You're safe. She lifted her tear-filled eyes. Adam, I'm scared. He placed his hand gently near hers. I know. But you're not alone anymore. And you'll never go back to him again. The security guards held her father down as he continued yelling hateful words into the air, words that no child should ever hear. The doctor rushed out too, shocked by the scene. Mr. Gray, do you want to press charges? Leah's eyes widened, terrified. Adam, no. Please, he's still my father. Adam took a slow breath. This was Leah's decision. Her pain. Her story. He looked at her gently. Leah, what do you want to do? She wiped her tears with shaking hands. I don't want him to hurt anyone else. Not me. Not anyone. That means we must tell the police, Adam said softly. She nodded slowly, bravely. For the first time, she chose herself. A new beginning. Hours later, Leah sat quietly in the back seat of Adam's car, wrapped in a soft blanket. Her father had been taken by the authorities. The hospital filed the proper reports. And she was finally safe. But her heart still shook from everything. Adam drove slowly, glancing at her through the mirror. How are you feeling? He asked gently. Leah looked outside the window. I feel scared. But also, free. Adam gave a small smile. That's a good start. She turned toward him. Adam, thank you. If you weren't there today, I don't know what would have happened. You don't have to thank me, Adam replied softly. This is what people do when they care. Her eyes softened. Why do you care so much? She whispered. Adam paused, then answered honestly. Because your courage, your strength, your heart, they matter. You matter, Leah. More than you know. Her eyes filled with tears again, but this time they weren't tears of fear. They were tears of healing.